you ever go out Rock Road by where you turn to go up on top of that wealthy place? He's lived up there most of his life, I think. For most of his life here in Radford.
Let's go to the old house first.
Okay. Forest Avenue.
Yeah.
Turn left on 7th Street.
Close this thing first. Where's the A-frame? Oh, there it is. I see it. That is where I got my haircut yesterday, in that A-frame house in the building next door.
Get on, take a right and go down a Forest Avenue here.
We are now pushing on the left-hand side. The house of the Turpin family. Bernice, and long, tall, blonde-haired girl lived there. Both of them and her brother were very fast runners. In fact, Ben Turpin, he held state records, did he not, Dad? Didn't Ben Turpin have state records in running? He was a fast guy.
Yeah.
Long distance running, right?
Yeah. Right there.
Now, can we find the rock? The rock we used to play on when we were kids. Oh, I think I see it. It's been cleared. Look, there it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Did you play on that when you were a kid, Dad? Because we sure did. Wait, is that a rock? That's not a rock. Anyway, the rock is up there somewhere. I know it's there because there it is. I see it. There it is. That is the rock that we played on.
I don't know what the guy's name is. I
There it
forgot.
is. I see it. Ah, the rock. It's there somewhere. Michael Davis's house on the left. You think he still lives there? Street.
Well, you want to go where he and Lynn Connor lived? He built that place.
Second Street. The street of our first house.
Yeah, right
The
there.
house where my father grew up in, actually.
Yeah.
I spent 6 years there with my 2 brothers and my mom and, of course, my dad. There. You see that? You see that pole there? That's the very one we used to check when we were coming home from school those days to see if they had installed the cable system so that we could watch Sesame Street on our house, which we are, in turn, fast or slowly approaching.
That's where the Franklins live, I
Who are the
believe.
Franklins?
And you see then where all this is that wide open.
Mm.
That's where you're. That's where my brother's wife.
Ah, yeah, Donald. I know. Yeah, right. Right down there, right?
Yeah, down there. That's where Rachel Fletcher lived before she was married to my brother. And then after my brother passed away, she lived there, went back and lived back there again.
Yeah.
With,
I remember. Yeah. This is where Mr. Walker used to live. Do you remember Mr. Walker? Dad, he used to live in this house. I think he used to get upset with his kids. We were like afraid of him. I guess he was probably a nice guy, but for some reason we kind of got freaked out.
Lived there. He was really rough. Now right down here is where my uncle, Paul.
Yeah, this is where
Paul,
didn't
right?
Oh, Paul. Yeah, I remember Paul. Yeah, I remember coming out of the house and seeing him stand there on that porch.
Yeah, he was a very independent fella. And then over here was Carlene and Bobby Abby Shrewsbury, her husband, they lived here for a while. And she was her home that she was born and grew up in is over the hill there. Now, I don't know if you are old enough to remember Jimbo Altheiser.
I remember the name Jimbo.
He had a sister whose nickname was Pug, and she ended up marrying Terry McCraw, the one that sold our house that we live in now. She lived there with her husband. They had a couple of kids, and then she moved away and went down to.
There it is, our first house. My God, it's in horrible condition now. We actually have pictures of me and Scott when we were like 3 years old, standing on this very set of steps. We've got little bald baby heads, baby-ish. We've got other ones of us three on tricycles on these very sidewalks. Look at this. This house is abandoned. There's nobody living here, I know. I've been up here before, actually, this summer. Right in there was where we had those chickens that we got from school. We brought them home and they hung out in our basement for a while, and then I think eventually they died. That's where we used to sleep outside sometimes in the evenings on a nice warm summer night. Right behind that window, we have pictures of a Christmas tree that we used to have up there. And if you go up here, go around this area, and you take a right, you'll see the very water cooler, not cooler, the water container, whatever you call it, where one of our friends once stood on top of and peed off into our backyard, fully exposed. Yep, that really happened. This is where we used to play touch football. We have pictures of ourselves with our friend, what was his name, Kurt. I'll show you those later. Same steps, same exact steps.
Mr. Walker lived there,
Oh, okay.
and he went fishing every day. Wakely, when they came to town, they lived on out that way.
Well, I remember, I guess when we first started going to first grade, I remember that first day you actually walked us down this street to show us how to get there. It's very easy, you just go straight down.
Yeah.
But I remember that day specifically. Down 2nd Street towards Hugh and Barnett.
Oh yeah, to get to Ken Barnett's not too hard.
Over to the left is the what is now a deli mart. It used to be a town country store. We used to go down there and get candy for like 2 cents. Once, I think we had unauthorized access to that store and got in trouble because we were not allowed to go down there by ourselves. Now, I guess we must have walked down this very road a lot going to 2nd grade or 1st grade. I don't remember that though.
4th Avenue.
Right, but didn't we always walk to school? We were never driven to school, were we? We must have come right down to
I don't
here.
know how you got to school.
I don't remember this.
I had to walk. When I lived there, and that house never looked like that when I lived there.
Where was your elementary school that you went to? Which elementary school did you go to?
I went to Barnett.
Same building?
Hmm?
The same building?
Yeah.
Really? I had no idea. I guess that makes sense. I never thought about that. Well, you went to the very same school. Wow, that's amazing. I remember one incident, it was like during the winter, we had our metal lunch boxes and we were kicking them down this road over the ice.
Yeah. And this is a church out here. On the right. I don't know what it is now, but it was a church at one.
go past Q and Barnett, and then go down by the high school, see that part of town, and then if we swing through town, we can then continue on to Christiansburg.
This is abundant praise. You know what churches here? It was. There was a church there. We have on 3rd Street now.
We got to Pendleton? Oh, there it is. Okay, now I got. Okay, I was confused. Okay, there it is. There's Q and Barnett. We went to school.
Yes, it is right there. Yeah, just right, school.
This is highly unorthodox. Take some pictures here. Let's go investigate the traffic, the horrible traffic in our fair city of Radford. And it is a city. This is not a town like Blacksburg or Christiansburg. This is a city. We have been incorporated for years and years and years.
This is incorporated when I was born.
Yes. We are sophisticated city folk, not country burghers.
And this is the front door of the old Q and Barnett School. Right there. Nobody ever bought it. And
This is, remember Coach Goss? This is the spot where Coach Goss would take us out, throw footballs to us
yeah.
during recess or whatever. Well, here's the playground that Scott and Reginald Quisenberry got into a fight one day, one resource, if I remember correctly.
Somebody who from Christiansburg? Scott got in a fight with him.
Reginald Quisenberry.
Reggie.
As we call him. Redheaded kid. We used to play Mary, whatever, when you run across and you try to break through the outstretched arms.
Yeah.
The other kids wouldn't even come back in. I almost know for a fact that I've never actually driven down this street before.
This one is out. It's Carter Street Methodist Church down there. Well, a good friend of mine went to church, Tom Frail.
Well, I dare suggest this, but I think we should go down to 1st Street and see if we can plow our way through all of this hordes and hordes of traffic, which we are undoubtedly doomed to encounter.
Here's 3rd Street. Probably right. I'm gonna go left and find 1st Street.
First Street, which eventually becomes Norwood for some crazy reason, which we do not understand. Preston Street. I think this is where Donna LaFew lived. In fact, she still does. We saw her during her recent reunions. Donna LaFew said that her parents, I think, still live here. I believe right on this corner, if I remember correctly. Donna LaFew, kind of a French name. It was kind of exotic back then. There weren't many LaFews around, that's for sure.
Second Street.
We also had Weichels. 3 Weichels. Weichels and a LaFew. Who else? Palladino. Had a Palladino once.
West Miami, we'll go east Miami. East. Around this way.
Then we had some borings like Simpkins, that's kind of common. We had a Jones, a Duncan. Nice names, just not quite as exotic as you can often find, or sometimes at least find in Radford. What is Sal's name? His last name?
Who?
Sal, the guy who owns the famous Sal's restaurant up here. It's kind of an Italian name, isn't it?
He's the guy. That's the right off.
Oh, this is special. We are now going to visit what used to be the Kenny Burger. The Kenny Burger. I guess the first fast food burger that I ever had, and it's in the exact same building.
Sal, what's that out here?
A churro. I've been there before, actually. Sal.
Yeah, place right over here.
Yeah, I remember the triangular roofs of the Kenny Burger building. Pazar, what is that? What is it now?
There's a Mexican over here.
What is a Pazar?
Bazaar.
Where's my Kenny Burger? Give it back!
This is West Main Street. You can take a left. Go down and see across the real estate. That's the kind of that was the house we did in now.
See? Traffic. Traffic. There it is. There it is. We're stuck behind this guy. I remember once, this is probably 15 years ago, we were sitting at a red light up here near the bridge. Because we've been living in Washington for quite some time. We were like immune to big city life. We're sitting there, and there's a guy in front of me, and I beep at him. Because he looks around like we were crazy. I guess maybe we were.
No, this is the middle of town. Right here.
Oh, okay, this is the bank where Mom used to work.
I'm up here a little
I
far.
used to see her, and we used to drive through the drive-thru and visit. And of course, here, right next door, is the post office that you. How long did you work at this post office, Dad? This current branch. I mean,
I worked there 5 or 6 years, and they traded it.
oh, it's gone, isn't it?
It's gone. They put a.
Ah, what the bear market? The bear market sign is gone. Oh,
It's in they're right here. Where this is the New River Dermatology. This was First Street Station. It was called. And they tore that down, put another building for the skin doctor, whatever, dermatologist. I looked there quite a while ago.
so this is the Radford drugstore. About 15 years ago on Facebook, one of the kids that used to live down in this area mentioned that after school they would have to come down here and get fountain drinks at the drugstore. To me, back then, that was a totally bad experience, because we never did that. living up in the area in town. But he also said that he found it exotic to visit the New River Park. So now, of course, it's our old hat, but whatever. Back then, it was exotic experiences for a lot of kids, I guess.
You can go down to Bessie Park if you want to.
It's a pretty big city. I guess it can be difficult sometimes to keep track of all of it and easy to get lost in it. What?
Bessie Park.
Ah, yeah.
The bridge.
It's kind of visit the high school. You know.
Okay.
We're going to Christiansburg, I guess. Maybe go through town and go that way to Christiansburg. Yes. And this is still the middle school, right? Which we did not go to. We had graduated from high school by the time they built this, the middle school
This is
portion.
high school. Where the high school was, and it still is.
Now, Dad, tell me the story of what happened to the high school. Like, from the time that you went there until present, what happened to it?
It caught on fire one time.
How much of it burned down?
Biggest part of it.
But part of it remains, which we will see soon. Well, like my dad just said, apparently most of the high school burned down, whatever year that was. I don't remember actually. But they did preserve one of the main stone signs. There used to be only one bridge. The one on the left has been there forever. The one on the right is probably rebuilt maybe 20 years ago, or built for the first time maybe 20 years ago. Ah, there is where the old recreation hall used to be, the rec hall as we called it. We spent many a summer and winter day playing basketball there in Little League. Played tennis on the tennis courts down below. And they eventually tore it down. Used to be a library that we used to go to. I still remember the way it smelled inside the library, the way those old books, the musty smell permeate everything. Whenever I open an old book now, I can smell that and it takes you right back to that old building. Spent a lot of good times back in there, including checking out the National Geographic book, showing certain interesting features of various cultures. So maybe we'll go down through town and then head out to Christiansburg.
Oh, yeah, if you want to go to Christiansburg.
We've got to get from the downtown area.
Or did you want to go to Blacksburg?
No, the place that we're going for the music is actually Christiansburg. Although we could go to Blacksburg.
Still there.
And this is the new library.
This is the old library.
Right there's where the rec hall was at, Dad. Did you go to the rec hall, I guess, when you were a kid? You probably did, right?
The rec hall?
Yeah, that old rec
Yeah,
hall.
all the time. That's where we went to play basketball, rook, and all kinds of different activities.
I think I may have told you this once. We used to go down there, and I don't know, when did the first integration start happening in this town? Do you remember?
No,
Like when you were in school, I guess there were probably no African American kids in your Is that true?
Yeah, there were some.
There were actually in your actual grade, or just?
Yeah, it was sometime when I was late in elementary school.
Oh, okay. Well, it may be a small thing, but I remember specifically seeing you like hanging out with all of the African American guys who play basketball down here. I just kind of noticed that you were just, obviously there was no reason why you wouldn't be doing it, but I think it's kind of made a bit of an impression on me that,
Well, that's the one thing that I'm probably most proud of. And during my lifetime, my mother nor my dad ever had anything bad to say about the black people. The only thing my mother wasn't sure of was that of their personal hygiene.
And, you can't help some things that you think, right? I guess that's how you deal with it that's important.
And one of my best friends was James Hickman.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. I remember Sherry used to babysit us.
Yeah.
She was so pretty. We used to really like her because she was just so nice. Yeah, I remember that. We used to actually stay at his house, right?
Yeah, he lives over. Well, he's been dead for a long time. But they lived over there off of Rock Road where that church was, right across the street from the church over there.
Ah, the Radford Theater. That is a nice. I don't know what's going on.
My cousin
Spider-Man.
Curtis.
I should go there tonight with Michael's good.
My first cousin, Curtis Radford. He was a movie fan, but he also grew up traveling with my granddaddy, who was a Pentecostal preacher.
There it is. At one point, the tallest building in Southwest Virginia. How many stories is that?
I didn't know that Virginia, Radford University. This big tall building here, I don't know how many stories it is.
I think it might be 14. I don't remember.
Something like that.
One summer, we happened to discover that this is a co-ed dorm, right? Muse Hall.
Yeah.
The female portion of that co-ed protocol would actually go out on the top of that roof and sunbathe. And a couple times we would kind of sneak up there for obvious reasons. And I found out like a couple of years ago that other people did the same thing, which I did not know. For us, it was obviously Eric Weichel was probably leading the crowd. Chuck Simpkins was probably with us, maybe Steve Rollins, but I had no idea that everybody else knew about it. All right, Radford University. I spent 2 years here at this school before moving on to Virginia Tech. Building on the right used to be the music building. I used to sneak in there and play pianos and the organ that they had in there, but I think now it's something different. And now it's probably locked up. You probably can't even get into it anyway, unfortunately. So, Dad, anything else we need to see in Radford, or did we cover all the major points?
Well, it's pretty well. All of this has been built since you started school down here. And all this in town's all new from when you were growing up.
Yep. Okay, we are coming to the end of the tour of our fair city, Radford, Virginia. Not much else
This is
to see.
most of this you see here are homes for individuals.
wait. There was one spot left. Wait. Oh, I almost forgot. Oh my gosh, how did I possibly forget this? We are now approaching the apartment, current version of the older brother. Yes, we are going to see where he lived at this very moment. He's in there right now. I know he's asleep. He said he would be. We will not wake him up until this evening, at which point we shall come back. And we shall do a version of Bruce Springsteen's Used Cars.
Is Michael's car down here?
I don't know. What kind of car does he have? It's going to be here somewhere, right? What is he driving now? I forgot. Well, I don't think he's gone anywhere. What do we do? This gap at least 4 o'clock, I think he said. It's now East Main Street. So it's First Street. Is it still Norwood in the middle of town? Now East Main Street?
What?
Is it still Norwood Street in the middle of town, or is it now East Main?
I don't know.